Check out what the satisfied Dan Gemus real estate team clients are saying about working with the Dan Gemus team. Visit dangemus.com.
I got to thank you for being a voice of reason in a sea of insanity.
Now back to the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show on AM 800.
All right, we are back. Joyce Blockmere in studio with me today. Always great to have you, Joyce.
Always great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And we have our fun question today. You can keep texting your answers. And the fun question, I got to get my sheet here, is if money were no object, what's the first home improvement project you would tackle? So keep texting those in this half hour, and we'll keep sharing those answers as well. But in the meantime, we've got a friend with us, Mandy Taggart, on the phone. Hey, Mandy, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Fantastic. Mandy is the home stager with the Dan Gemus team. And Mandy, great to have you on board. We're so excited to have you with us.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate this.
Of course. So tell us so you have a business called The Organizer. Tell us about the business a little bit.
Okay, sure. So I own a business called The Organizer. I opened it in 2020, just kind of like as a side gig so I could do some things in addition to the corporate job that I had. I really love projects and I really love helping people, so I kind of combined those two things and started a home organizing business. Since then, I've grown it quite a bit. I think recently, and I have a team now of home cleaners and organizers, and really our goal is to just help people find peace of mind when it comes to their homes.
Oh my goodness, there's no doubt that all of us need help organizing. So, right, Joyce? No doubt. So how did you find, what made you get interested in organizing and getting people, that help that they need?
I think it really started with my family. So I had a couple of family members that I would help with little projects here and there around the house. It always made me feel really good. Seeing the before and after transformation always was really cool to see, and it gave me that sense of accomplishment. So I think that was what kind of steered me down that road. Also, I had watched Home Edit, and I thought that was so cool, and I'm like, maybe I should do something like this around here. So I started going down that path. Just with kind of the before and after transformations in mind as my sole reason why I wanted to do this. It has grown into so much more than that, though, and I've learned a lot throughout this journey when it comes to people's homes and mental health and lack of control and different feelings that come along with that. So our priority has really shifted from a cool before and after to making you feel better in your house.
So yeah, no doubt. There are many services that you offer. Tell us about just a few of them.
Yeah, so definitely we offer home organizing. That could look like one single session in one single space up to an entire home transformation program that tackles different areas in your home if need be. We also offer residential cleaning now. We use a Canadian company, like a Canadian-owned cleaning product called Mint Cleaning Product. It's really good stuff. It's non-toxic, eco-friendly. And then we also offer moving services. So we offer purging and packing services for people who are looking to start listing their house and get that process going, all the way through to the cleaning as well, and then the unpacking at the end once they've moved into their dream house and they're ready to settle in.
There's no doubt that's one of the most stressful parts of moving, right? And not just that, but we're all guilty of it. I have been guilty, Nick and I have been guilty of it, where we pack things, we bring them to the next house, and they stay in those boxes for years, later. So oftentimes you don't need those. You don't need everything with you, right? So
no, but a new house. To purge. No, and the way that I look at it is a new house is like a new opportunity, right? A new chapter. And if you're bringing old baggage or old things with you that don't serve you anymore, you're just taking up space for what could be the potential of that new home or who you are in this new kind of space or this new chapter in your life, right? So I think it's therapeutic almost to go through and purge what no longer serves you and only bring the stuff that you really need or love.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, but we have so many clients that we work with to sell their properties where they've either inherited the property from a parent that's passed away, or maybe they have a parent that's moving on to a nursing home or a retirement community. They need a lot of help oftentimes in getting through that stuff in the house, right? So tell us about how you can help there.
Yeah, so we can definitely help with the downsizing. We have a lot of experience working with people who are downsizing and people who need to purge things that are precious to them, things that have, accumulated over time and they're not really sure what to do with it. So we just go through like a pretty standard process, I would say, with all of our purging clients. We just apply the same, I guess, principles to each person with their specific belongings. And I think it's nice to have a third party come in, someone who's not biased, who has no attachment to any of the belongings, who can ask, some straightforward questions and just kind of work through, what's going on in the client's head as they're purging.
What kind of tips do you have for those that, again, are attached to certain things and are having a hard time letting go? What do you often suggest in those times?
So I do like to remind people that a lot of these things that I feel like they're like almost bogging us down or we're having a hard time letting go of, like they are inanimate objects, right? So we can't forget the fact that there's no physical possible way for them to have actual control over us. It's the attachment that we assign that item that gives us that internal struggle as to what we're going to do with it. So I think that looking at each item kind of logically and keeping in mind where what your goal is and where you want to be. So if you're downsizing from, a 5-bedroom home into a condo, using that, I guess that vision of the condo and what do I want that to look like and what do I want to live here as your guideline to kind of determine what's most important and what's not can be very helpful. And then just also reminding the client that these are just things, right? The only attachment or the only memory that it holds is what you've assigned to it. So you can take it back. You can keep that attachment. You can assign it to something else, or you can just hold that memory, in your heart. You don't need that physical thing.
Okay, so let's talk about some various tips here. So for someone who, again, is looking at needing some help, they don't know where to start. Yep. What is your tip? Obviously, you offer a free consultation. Now, if someone works with the Dan Gemus team, we will send you in on our behalf to go and help those clients get the property ready for listing. But for those who are just out there listening, and maybe they don't need to move right this second, but they just want help organizing, what tips do you have for them as you come into a house to do a free consultation? Where do you start?
Yeah, so I do have I have 4 tips here that I actually wrote down for you.
Sure.
So the first one is to be mindful of your purchases. So we can start before you even walk in the door. When you're out there shopping, just be mindful of what it is that you're buying. Ask yourself why you're buying it. Do you need it or do you want it? And then where are you going to put it, right? So if you're living in a small space, maybe big bulk buys at Costco aren't serving you, right? Because that creates clutter. So just kind of keeping that in mind when you're out there shopping, asking yourself why you're buying something can kind of open your eyes sometimes to those impulse buys as well. The things that you don't actually need, you're just grabbing because you're used to doing that. Yeah. So tip number 1 would definitely be mindful to your purchases.
And we are guilty, Mandy, right? Of our society, we love things, don't we? We just love stuff.
Yeah, well, and we're being told to, right? Like
yes,
everywhere we turn, it's like you need this and you need that and keep up with the Joneses and buy this thing on Facebook, and all these things. And we don't need any of it. We convince ourselves that we do. So I think kind of flipping that script in your head and trying to actually like logically convince yourself, it takes a level of mindfulness that you could convince yourself out of it just as quickly.
100%.
Not to mention money consciousness as well.
Yes.
Just how much do you
absolutely.
Save?
Yeah, and I've had clients actually mention that to me. So when I do a home transformation program, one of the first rules that I put into place is don't buy anything that's not grocery or necessity for the duration of this program, right? Because it's counterproductive. And I have had people say like, wow, like I didn't realize how much I was spending, stopping at Dollarama on the way home to get like something fun for my kid, or the extra things I'm buying at Winners because they're pretty. When you are told you're not allowed to do that for a period of time, it really makes you think about what it is that you're buying.
Sure.
And you will save money.
Love it.
Love it. So the second tip that I have, it kind of leads into this because you want to ask yourself when you're buying something, where is it going to go? So having a home for everything. Having a home for everything can eliminate clutter in your house. And it makes it very easy to tidy up at the end of the day and to get your family to kind of join in and help you tidy up, because then they know where to put things. They're not kind of walking around,
Just stick it all on the dining room table. It's fine.
In the back room. Throw it in the back room. Ask my kids.
Under the bed.
You don't want it? Throw it in the
so
back room.
many spots.
Yeah, clean up your room. Everything goes in the closet. The closet door shuts and it looks clean.
Yeah.
But have fun trying to find what that thing was that you needed, right?
Right.
So having a home for everything can make it very simple. It's like, Play-Doh goes in this bin in this closet. So if we're cleaning up anything Play-Doh, we know exactly where to put it. It can make it like a very effortless system.
No doubt. Love that. Third tip?
The third tip is do like a 5-minute reset at the end of every day before you go to bed. So it could be 10 minutes if you have lots of kids and there's lots of, toys, but even just 5 minutes at the end of the day just to kind of sweep through your house, grab a few things, put them away, allow yourself to wake up feeling like peaceful in the morning and ready to go. That's a big one for us here.
Love it. And fourth?
And the fourth one is to manage your expectations. So we all go through different seasons, and that looks differently, and that makes our house look differently too. So just manage your expectations in whatever season that you're in, right? Myself, as you can imagine, I'm very organized in my home, and I can be very anal about it. So when my sister had my first nephew and he would come over and he'd make a mess, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like anxiety, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like my house, it looks crazy. But fast forward now, I have 2 little ones myself, and my expectations have to be different to feel at peace in my home, because there's more people here, and the kids, let's face it, they don't care if it's messy.
No, of course.
No.
This is just the season that I live in right now, and our house isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because I love where we are,
That's
So managing expectations is a huge one.
Great way of putting it. Great job, Mandy. We're so happy to have you on board.
Thank
and
you.
We look forward to doing a monthly segment with you, and it'll be lots of fun. And
Yeah, I
again,
think so.
if someone has questions for you, what's the best way to reach out?
So they can call me or text me. That would be fine. And then I also am on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is @INeedTheOrganizer. So a little bit of subliminal messaging there. And then I have a website as well. So just theorganizer.ca.
Theorganizer.ca. Fantastic, Mandy. Great
Yeah.
job, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye, Mandy.
That's Mandy Taggart,
Okay.
Owner of The Organizer, home stager for the Dan Gemus team. Does a great job. Looking forward to some great tips from her throughout 2025 here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show. So, Joyce, what do you say we take a break?
Okay.
We're going to come back. Oh, what do you say we give away a gift card first?
Sure.
Gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. If you want a chance to win some free popcorn, you can be caller number
7.
Caller number 7 right now, 519-792-2559, 519-792-CKLW. Caller number 7. Get some free popcorn from the Richmond Popcorn Company. You can find other flavors at richmondpopcorn.com. Lots more to come right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.